Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. So, I've got a lot of foodie stuff to catch up on. So, where to start first? Well, looks like she did a live last night and she was fake sad fishing, which is so on par with foodie because that's what she does when whatever she's doing doesn't work. Let's resort to either rage fishing or sad fishing. So she did a live called I Need to Bees, and she was moaning and groaning about missing Canada and Salah and blah, blah, blah. And I've got so many thoughts, and I'm going to warn you guys ahead of time. This is going to be a long one. This live went on for an hour and 43 minutes and 33 seconds. And if we need to, we'll skip ahead to different parts if it gets too boring. But I want to sit in and give my thoughts. So why don't we just get started with this thing, shall we? Let's go.
Hey Ruby, Cassie, Turbo, Mimi, Blacks. You're in pain? I'm sorry. Hi guys. Tiffany, Gemini, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm very emotional. I might cry. Hi Laura.
You're not emotional. In order to be emotional, you'd have to have a heart first and a soul, and you have neither. But go ahead, Miriam.
Yeah, I can't help it. Like, I'm up at night. Like, my husband's sleeping and I'm awake crying.
She says she's crying, but do you guys see any tears? Anybody out there, raise your hand. When you've done some ugly crying, when you're feeling really emotional, you got that ugly crying jag going on, what happens? Your face gets all red, your nose gets all stuffy, you can barely breathe, your eyes get all red and swollen. I don't see none of that here, do y'all? Because I'm looking dead at her. I don't see any tears. I see a little bit of moisture around the eyes. And for all that moisture, her eyeliner is barely smeared. So this is performative. Just know that. This is her getting online and whatever's going on. Maybe she's freaking out because she doesn't have her carbs or her sugar. And she's just, I'm just going to sit here and pretend to cry and maybe I'll get some super chats out of it. That's what this is. It's her sad fishing for profit.
Hi Tracy. And I just felt alone right now, so I thought I would go live and talk to you guys.
Well, maybe you should go and talk to a therapist. If you're feeling some kind of way, maybe you should go to a therapist and stop treating YouTube like everybody here are your therapists because you've been doing that for years. How's that working out for you? Really, how's it working out? I don't see you any happier or healthier or balanced. Girl, you need professional help. All sarcasm removed. You need professional help, and yet you refuse to go get it. Why? Because you'd have to sit in a room with somebody who's not a beezer. They're not going to give you a hug box. They're going to ask you all of the hard questions, looking for the answers to get to the root of the problem, to fix the problem. But you're not about that life of fixing your problems. You're all about that life of monetizing your problems. Every single one of them. You make money off of being broken.
It's like I don't like burdening the real people in my life, family and friends, even though they've said numerous times, you can talk to us, you can talk to us. I like to burden you guys.
What? I like to burden you guys. Well, isn't that nice, y'all? Isn't that just absolutely nice? I'm going to burden all of you, even though you're my audience. And I'm sure those of you in my audience, maybe you've got your own issues. Maybe you've got your own problems. Maybe you've got worries on your mind. Maybe you come to YouTube to forget about your problems. I'm just going to forego all of that and just burden you with my problems and my issues. Just forget about the fact that you're actual people with actual lives and just unload on all of you. How fair are you doing that, Chantal?
Hi, Golden Girl. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like not trying to be dramatic.
Yes, you are.
And I'm gonna smoke a menthol because I don't smoke cigarettes normally, but except
Okay, that line number one. Line number one. I normally don't smoke menthols, but yet in another video she did, another live she did, she told us that she smokes them sometimes. So there's what we see on camera, and then there's what happens when the camera's turned off. So how much y'all want to bet she's smoking like a fiend when the camera's turned off? How much you want to bet? Who's going to raise their hand? Listen, cigarette smoking is a bad habit. I do it. Okay, self-confession, I'm a smoker. Don't throw tomatoes at me. It's just, it is what it is. I'm getting better about it, though. I'm trying to cut down, but it's a hard habit to break. Anybody who's ever been a smoker knows that. So she was smoking the shisha, which is equal to 90 cigarettes in 1 hour. And you don't think she's attacking those cigarettes in place of the shisha when she can't have it? Oh, yes, she is. Yes, she is.
When I'm really stressed out. I know it's bad for me and can kill me. I can't help it. Am I allowed
Yes, you can.
to smoke? I don't even care. So, why am I hurting? I don't know. You. Nice cat.
You know what I'm looking at the chat right now. Everybody in the chat is saying, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" Everybody in your chat is more concerned about you than you're concerned about you, Chantal. Isn't that sad? That there are complete strangers on the internet that care much more about you than you care about yourself. Every time you get on camera and you eat 5 million calories in one sitting, you are saying, I don't care about myself. Every time you smoke, every time you do something to hurt yourself, you are saying, I don't care. I don't care that I'm in pain. I don't care if I suffer. I just care enough to get online and complain about it, but I'm not going to do anything to fix the situation.
Cactus. Lip gummies. I wish we could chat in real life. Homesick. No. Well, a little bit. I just feel weird. I don't know how to explain it. I just want to peace.
Well, beezing means misbehaving. And that's part of your problem. You're all about that life of misbehaving. You're almost 40 years old. When exactly do you stop misbehaving? Misbehaving is for children. Misbehaving is for teenagers that don't know any better. You're almost 40. You should know better. That's your problem. You're an almost 40-year-old woman with a 15 or 16-year-old mentality. I just want to be ease. Yet look how messy your life is. Maybe you should stop misbehaving.
Yeah, I miss my family.
No, you don't.
It's like I feel conflicted with my identity in a lot of ways.
That's because you don't know who you are. You don't have a true identity, Chantal. You just don't. You don't have a true identity. You take on the identity of whatever guy you're with. Whatever they like or they hate, you like and hate because you want to be accepted by them. That means they're never going to accept you as you are, as a person with your own identity. Every time you get with a guy, you change yourself, you change your identity. And I've said this before in other reacts, I'll say it again, because I've been watching Chantal for a long time. I think a big part of the problem is that when she first came on YouTube, she was Chantal Marie Sorrow. And then as her channel started to grow, she abandoned that part of herself for her online persona, Foodie Beauty. She put on that persona and she didn't want to take it off. And any actor or actress in the entertainment field, they know that when you're playing a role, You play it for a short time, and then after you're done, you go in the back dressing room, you put your street clothes on, you go outside, and you become who you are off camera. Chantal doesn't know how to do that. It got lost in translation. The person became the persona. Why do you think her life is such a mess? Because she doesn't want to be Chantal Marie. She wants to be Foodie Beauty. Because Foodie Beauty online makes money, has people that adore her, want to talk to her 24 hours a day. So her real off camera life is a complete mess. But as long as she's got that camera in her face, as long as she's facing forward into that black mirror known as her camera, she can ignore all of her real life problems behind her.
28 months? No way. Hi, Country Queen. Hope you're okay. We're all here for you. Love you. Thank you, Tiffany. You really, it means a lot. 28 months is a long time. Pretty sure we need. It's momentary. Thank you, Nicolina. I know that you guys. You should wake up Salah. He's your soulmate. He would want to share. I don't want to wake him up.
You know, Chantal, instead of coming online with all of your issues and all of your problems and dumping them on people, if you want to talk about your problems and your issues, why don't you balance it out and come online and say to people, yeah, I'm dealing with this issue or this problem or that problem, but here's the solution that I found. This is how I'm going to work it out. Come to the table with the problem and the solution, not just the problem that perfect strangers can't solve for you. You are the master of your own ship. You are the captain, and you decide where it goes. Nobody can drive it for you. Nobody can take it anywhere except you. So stop dumping on people. Like, learn to figure things out.
Thanks, Bailey. So, no. Oh yeah, I bit the cigarette.
You know, I'm sorry to keep stopping, guys, but I'm curious about something. You guys give me a minute. I'm looking up Playboard because Playboard is a site that you can go to that tracks like all of the stats and analytics for YouTubers. I'm just wondering like how many super chats she got during that live. So just give me a minute. I'm looking. Come on, where's her freaking channel? I'm impatient today. Man, she'd be around here somewhere. There she is. There's our girl. All right, super chats. So yesterday's revenue for super chats, $48. Now I don't know if that's the gross amount or the net amount. I know that YouTube takes 30% of whatever YouTubers make off their super chats. Plus she's Canadian, which means more tax. So if that's gross, that means she made less than $40 yesterday. So all that sad fishing for nothing. $30 won't even get her takeout for one day.
Yeah, I bet blacks. I'm sorry. Gemini Gem, 20 months. Thank you, Gemini. Ready, Sherry Beats. What triggered you? It's like I have to be private about a lot of things, you know. Iona Shambles, thank you. Um, Hi Teardrop, hi.
By the way, guys, I've got the volume all the way up. Like my computer, the volume is maxed. I'm maxed on YouTube. She's just talking really softly. So it's hard. If it's hard for you guys to hear, I've done all I can. She just needs to raise the volume of her voice.
Swiss Chalet and Orange Julep and Framboy. I don't even know what to say. So these are Pall Malls, but they're like, oh, the mint ones. You have to crush the filter to make it mint. So I bite the filter with my teeth, my rabbit teeth. I said Big Bird. Sapphire faded jeans. Yeah, I'm okay.
So Golden Girl is asking, are you okay though? Well, she must be okay because I just checked a few minutes ago. She did another mukbang, so she's fine.
Okay, I guess. Um, I might go home for a while.
You know, her going home, she talks about that on occasion. Like, I'm going to go home. I think there's a bit of manipulation going on there. I think if Salah doesn't pay her enough attention or he says no to her for whatever it is she wants, she pulls a biatch fit, like she pulls a little temper tantrum and she threatens to go home. And then maybe he freaks out and he starts thinking about, well, if she goes home, that means no more free money and no more free groceries. So I'm going to be nice to her for a while. It's her way of getting more attention from Salah and her just being a control freak.
Elizabeth's, yeah, like I am, but it's nothing against Salah at all. Like, I love him so much. But sometimes I'm just like really conflicted and like within myself and like feel like I have it's like a me problem. Like even though he reassures me that he accepts me for how I am.
Of course he does. Of course he accepts you as you are because you are the one with the paycheck. You're the one doling out the money, you big moron. That's why he accepts you. If the money weren't there, he wouldn't accept you at all, and you know it. He doesn't love you. He will never love you. He loves your money. That's the only part about you that he accepts and that he loves is your money. Because let's be real, Chantal, what is there about you to love? Are you a nice person? No. Are you someone that anyone could be proud of in public? No. You've got bad manners. You are vulgar. You're feral. You're gross. You don't take a shower. You don't brush your teeth. You don't have good hygiene. Okay? There's nothing about you that a man could say, this is my woman, and I am so proud of her. She's such an awesome person. She takes care of herself. She knows what to do. Salah can't say that about you. He just absolutely can't. And let's be real. All that Salah is the walking, talking version of the sex doll that you wanted long ago. But here's something for you, Chantal. That sex doll would have been a lot cheaper. Yeah, yeah. You paid a lot of money for a human version of that sex doll, and you're not happy with it either.
Like I feel like I have so much mental health problems. Health problems. I just feel old and fat and barren.
So you know you got issues. You know that you've got physical problems. You know you have health problems. You know you have mental problems. What are you doing about them? What are you doing about any of it? You are someone that comes with a lot of baggage. Too much. Too much. Look, everybody's got baggage. Everybody's got issues. We all got to deal with our stuff. But it's so much easier to go through life with light baggage than heavy baggage. And it's certainly not fair to walk into a relationship with a big, huge storage trunk of issues and say, here, you unpack it. You deal with it. You put it away. Because by doing that, You are taking away the other person's freedom to enjoy their life and be happy. They don't have that freedom anymore. They're dealing with all your stuff. I mean, two people coming together, they come together as a partnership, as a team. They work together to help each other out, but too much is too much. So if you got health problems, you got mental or emotional problems, you got all kinds of problems, you need to deal with your baggage and you need to lighten the load. And then maybe you might have some success with finding someone that you can spend your time with. Because right now, all of your issues could fill a warehouse.
And like, I just want to live peacefully, not having those insecurities in a relationship. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to have that. I want to just live like somewhere. It's like I don't know if it's my mental illness, but I just want to like be comfortable in my home and play video games and just relax and like go live whenever I want to. I want to drive around on the long road sometimes.
Oh my God. So you're reminiscing about the long road. Well, we all know what the long road means, y'all, don't we? Natter. Are you missing Natter? I'm sure he misses you too. I'm sure he misses you buying party favors from him and all that extra cash in hand that you had to give to him for said party favors. I'm sure he'd be very happy to have you back around the same neighborhood so you'll buy the party favors and he'll have more money to go out and get cigarettes. So, yeah, why not go home if you're missing all that stuff? But wait, as I remember, you hated the Western world. You're putting down the Western world. You're saying it's how horrible it is here. So it's so horrible here, but yet you're miserable there. Yet you're missing the Western world. What a conundrum.
It's just that sometimes it's hard not having the comforts or the crutches that I had in Canada. You know, not being able to just go for a drive.
But you said you hated driving. When somebody asked you about the driving, you said, I don't want to drive anymore. It's so nice to have somebody else drive me. Now you're saying you miss driving? Is it because when you were back in Canada and you had the sangria Kia, whenever you had the urge to go out at 3 a.m. and go get fast food, you had the power to do so. And now that you're in Kuwait, you can't do that anymore. You can't sneak eat because that's what you did in Canada. You did a lot of sneak eating when you were with BB. You're missing the fact that you gave up part of your freedom to be with this useless robotic husband, this stand-in actor. You're not happy. And yet you won't do the simple thing. You won't do the thing that you need to do. You won't look at Salah and say, look, bro, we tried it. We tried it for over a year. It's not working. It's not working for me. It's not working for you. We're in each other's way. It's time to just cut the cord. I'm getting some money together and I'm flying home to Canada. I will stay in a Motel 6 if I have to. And that's that. I will Motel B's. You're in each other's way. And the last tarot card reading that I did, Chantal, there is somebody in the picture very, very close to Salah. You are not his main. You are just the cash cow that gives him money to keep his main happy. So no matter what you do, you will never have that man. But that was also the case with Natter. You thought you could buy him, and no matter what you did, it didn't work. When are you going to learn you can't buy people? People aren't for sale.
Yeah. Or like I know this is bad to say as a Muslim, but I do miss like the wheelchairs sometimes. Not wheelchairs, like but And I know it's bad for me and it's an addiction. So, yeah, big golden girl. Yeah.
She's sitting there complaining about losing her freedom, and she was happy with her freedom. Yeah, she was very happy. She was much happier in Canada than she's ever been in Kuwait. She's been fooling herself the whole time of being happy in Kuwait. And y'all want to know why? Because Chantal's narcissistic pride is bigger than her body, much bigger. It is a pill that she absolutely cannot swallow. She can swallow huge bites of food, but she cannot swallow her narcissistic pride. She chokes on it every single time. It is so important for her to maintain this image of always being right. She's never wrong. She just can't stomach the thought of, if she goes home, the reaction channels are going to say, "We told you so. We told you it was stupid. We told you this was a bad decision." She doesn't want to be wrong. She doesn't want that moment of us saying, "We told you so," even though we did tell her so, and everybody warned her not to do it. Like Chantal's headstrong. Like, she's more concerned with people on the internet and what they think than making good decisions for her life. The problem with her is that she's been making bad decisions for years, and a lot of them are starting to catch up with her now.
The crutches. You know what I mean? Like things that make life bearable. Homesick, you think so? But the thing is like, then I think about Canada. And when I'm there, I miss like my cat here. I miss Harry. I miss Salah. I miss my, home here and things about Kuwait.
What do you miss about Kuwait? I'm not saying Kuwait is a bad place. I'm sure it's a great place. But honestly, what would she miss about Kuwait? She stays in that apartment all day. She goes nowhere. She doesn't have a social circle of friends. She has the cat and she has the hamster, and those can go to people that will actually care for them. There is nothing in Kuwait that she can't leave behind and then go back to Canada and start over. Chantal, all you're doing in Kuwait is sitting in a room and eating yourself stupid. You can do that in Canada if you want to and have your freedom. How about that?
So now there's just like insecurities I have that when I think if I was alone, I have told Salah all this before, that I wouldn't have to worry about like just me. Like my grandma that way, just me. Like she was always alone. I understand why. Yeah. Yeah. Take the whole fam back to Canada. There's things I do very much dislike about Canada, yeah. But I don't know if it was Canada or if it was just my life there that I hated, you know? I'm like confused.
Canada is a great place with great people. I don't see any reason to hate Canada. And if you hated Canada, it had nothing to do with the country, had everything to do with your life decisions. And everything you did in Canada was something that you wanted to do, Chantal. You lived your life exactly the way you wanted to. Those party favors, your choice. That food, your choice. The villa, your choice. Hanging out with Natter, your choice. Maybe the answer is make better choices. Then you'll like it better, you think?
You guys don't have to time out people just like asking questions. I don't mind. I'll just answer what I want to. Are there things I dislike about Kuwait? Thanks, Ghostface. Yeah, I wish I could drive around. I just feel very confused, you know? You're not barren, you have so much more. The thing is, I don't want children.
Well, I'm not being rude to Chantal and I'm not chastising her for this. It's just, it is what it is. She had a hysterectomy a while ago. I believe that happened during the BB era. So she can't have children. And Salah, from what I understand, he is the only son in his family. So I would imagine the family wants him to have children if he doesn't have them already. So no, you can't have children, Chantal. And even if you had the ability to have children, should you have children? No, because children are a very big, lifelong responsibility. You can't even take care of yourself. How would you deal with one or two little ones running around you? You don't have the temperament, you don't have the patience, and you would be that mom that you would get easily annoyed and leave the kids with grandma for a long time, for days, or you would get jealous of your children for getting more attention than you. You're just a big toddler yourself. So you have your pets, which are a little bit easier than human children, and you can even take care of them. So if you can't take care of pets and you can't take care of yourself, you don't need kids.
I know I don't, you know? There's no way I can have. I'm a grandma already, and that's how I feel. I don't like bringing all of my mental health problems onto Salah. He's normal. He's fucking normal. Nothing medically wrong with him.
Well, you know what? That's your fault. You are an almost 40-year-old woman and you decided to be with a man who's a bit younger than you and who's much more active. So you had to figure in by getting with a much more active partner who wants to go out and do things that you would have to step it up as far as your activity level. But you went the other way. Instead of trying to get yourself in shape and get yourself healthy to where you can keep up with him and go and do things with him, you decided to sit your butt on the floor in front of that blue couch and eat yourself stupid. Now you're at the point where if you're trying to put your groceries away, you're breathing heavy. So he was okay as far as the optics, but beyond that, what do you guys have in common? I don't think you were ever in love with him, Chantal. I think you were in love with the idea of him. You were in love with the idea of Salah. You were in love with the idea of love. And you wanted to know what it was like to be in a relationship. But all you're basically doing over there is playing house. Anybody out there that, you were young and you little and you played house, you be the mommy and I be the daddy. That's playing house. She's playing the adult version, the paid for version of playing house.
Thank you guys. I can't drive here. I think you need an international. I thought you could drive with your. I'm not sure if you can drive with my license or if you need an international license, but It's not safe. It's like really crazy to drive here alone, and
Speaking of driving, Chantal, when you were in Canada and you had the Sangria Kia, you were barely able to fit in the Sangria Kia. So even if you came back to Canada, there's a very, very great chance that if you try to sit in it, you wouldn't even fit. So you would need a brand new car.
yeah, juice box, please. No, I have old crusty on my eyelids, Iona.
See, you guys know how you can tell this whole thing is just fake sad fishing. So she's feeling sad and she's feeling emotional. No tears. She's not sniffling. Her nose isn't running. I mean, when you're ugly crying, they call it ugly crying for a reason. She ain't doing none of that here. Face ain't red. This is all performative.
Me and my mom. Thank you, Golden Girl. I feel like betraying him talking about this online. I know.
Well, you kind of are. And it's amazing to me that for someone who wants to be in a relationship so bad, that you don't study up on what a good relationship entails. And one of the more important things about a real relationship, Chantal, is communication. Like if you got a problem with your partner, if you got a problem with yourself, you talk to your partner. You talk to them first before you talk to strangers on the internet. You don't put out all your private business out in the public. You go to your partner, you sit down with them with the camera off, and you say, I have a problem. I have an issue. I need to talk to you about it. Communication. But you're not talking to him right now. You decided to turn on your camera and do this live and talk to complete strangers that you are not intimately, personally involved with beyond YouTube. So that's a bad move.
With us, I need to feel free to like express myself as well. I just feel like I have limited freedom in certain things. Aw, really, Blacks? He's normal. Oops. My hair. I'm sorry.
I think that if Chantal could bring Salah with her to Canada, she'd be out of Kuwait in a hot minute. But I think the reason why she really does not want to leave Kuwait is because of Salah. The fact that he cannot go with her. And although she's with Salah and it's not working and he doesn't love her and it's apparent to all of us, Chantal is that kind of woman that if you are a man in her life, if she has fixated on you, she's not going to let you go. She knows if she flies home to Canada, that's going to open up the door for Salah to go to the red room or blue room or yellow room or whatever room he wants. And what is she going to do about it? She can't. She's thousands of miles away. So although this whole financial arrangement between the two of them, that's just exactly what it is. It's a financial arrangement, and that's all it's ever been. You know, she's one of those people of I don't want it, but I don't want anybody else to have it either. Like what's hers is always hers. But again, Chantal, you can't buy people. Everybody has a sense of free will, and money cannot buy that. It cannot work around that. So you tried this with Natter, didn't work. You're trying it with Salah. Obviously, it's not working. You're going broke. And although you are so focused on the reaction channels, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to stay here because by staying here, I'm winning. Let me tell you something, Big Mama. You've already lost. Now it's just a question of how much are you willing to lose? Are you willing to lose it all for a guy that doesn't even love you? And here's another serious question to think about. If something ever happened to you and you can no longer work on YouTube, do you think he'd honestly stick around to be there for you? Do you think he'd go out and work to support you? Nope. He'd be out there in a hot minute. He's around as long as it benefits him. Once it stops benefiting him, he's gone. He'll find another mark and keep it moving.
Yeah, Angel. Guardian Angel. Your name. Your grandma 48. Kids are too much work. I can't have kids. I can't even take care of my effing self.
Right?
Yeah, teardrop. There's just things I can't tell you guys out of respect and privacy. Obviously our relationship is not perfect.
If you have a relationship where you don't feel comfortable talking to your partner, that's a problem. Whoever that person is, you should be able to go to them and talk to them first. And if you feel you can't, if you feel afraid to talk to them, like, what kind of relationship is that? So she's with Salah and she can't talk to him. So you don't really have a relationship, Chantal.
But I think a lot of it's a me problem too.
Yeah, you are a problem.
I didn't acknowledge any of my problems from back home.
Nope.
Like with you know who. I don't even want to live in the same country as that person. Honestly, I don't. Yeah,
I'm look, I'm not a Natter fan. He's a scumbag. He's an absolute scumbag. He's filth, he's scum. My mind is set on that. But I hate the fact that she's like, it's all him. He's the bad one. No, they were both bad together. They were complete opposites in a lot of ways, but they were very similar in other ways. And the way that they were similar, the common ground between the two of them is that they were both con artists and scammers and liars and manipulators. That's where they got along. That was their common ground, always. Nothing beyond that. But she keeps painting this picture of Natter of like he was the abusive one. He did this, he did that. You know what? Chantal has said herself that she is verbally abusive, and I believe that. She has said she's got an anger problem. So she likes to paint one half of a picture, and that one half favors her, but she leaves out the other half of the equation. And remember, Chantal, this person, the new you know who, you were so in love with him. You wanted to marry him. You wanted him to claim you. And I think this whole thing with Salah is it started out with you, and there's one of two possibilities here. Door number one, you were trying to bring Natter to heel. Like you could not get control of Natter. So you being the sugar mama and him being the sugar baby, you were like, hey, if you're not going to come to heel and do what I want you to do, I'm going to show you I'll find somebody better to give my money to. I'll find somebody else and I'll build up their YouTube channel. Give them some YouTube fame. Everything I gave you, I will give them. Watch me do it. And maybe you thought by doing that Natter would come running back to you and he would get away from Dee Dee and you'd finally have him. You were doing it to make Natter jealous. Always. I've always said I think Natter was the one she really, really wanted to be with. She really wanted to be with him for whatever stupid reason. And she tried her hardest up until the very last second to get him. And if Natter had made one phone call before her trip to the airport the first time, she would have backed away from Salah. But at that point, she'd already gone too far, so she just went ahead and pursued Salah, and that was that.
A teardrop, I know. That's why I'm just saying, like, I respect Salah, I respect our privacy. But things that have to do with me, and my sentiments, I feel like I've always talked about these things. I've always liked to be open, and I just don't feel like me not being that way, you know? And it contradicts who I am now, like as like a Muslim woman.
The thing is, you're not a Muslim woman, Chantal. You never have been. You've been cosplaying one, and badly, because you've been making up your own rules. You come on camera, you're smoking, you're cursing, you're committing gluttony, you're not clean. You're not a Muslim woman. This is all cosplay from you. Do you know why people want you to go back to Canada? Do you know why the reaction channels want you to go back to Canada? It's not because we want you to go back to Canada and do party favors and get completely blitzed out of your head. But if you went back to Canada without Salah, you could be your authentic self. You'll be much more your real self. You've had that bottled up for over a year because what I'm looking at in front of me is not really you. This is the cosplaying, being a good girl you, and it's not working.
Like they don't typically talk about their problems like that. Yeah, freedom deep. Yeah. Cute cactus.
Okay, so I'm looking at the chat. There are some people saying this. Elizabeth Nirvana says this is therapy. We're her besties. But this isn't real therapy. This is a venting session, true, but this is not therapy because not a single person in the chat is a therapist. And even if every single person was a therapist, Chantal's not y'all's patient. Nobody can treat her. There's not a single person in the chat, even if you guys were qualified and had papers, you had a degree, that you could treat her. Now she needs to go to an actual therapist. She needs to go to inpatient. She needs a lot of things she's not getting, and she refuses to get help. Hence the reason why she's getting worse. Like YouTube venting is not the same as real therapy. She needs to understand that.
Oh wow, Emily, good for you. Energetic. This is therapy. Well, it's more complicated for him to come to Canada as a Syrian. So yeah, I didn't heal on anything. I don't want to like think about it. Don't give up on a therapist. Yeah. Thanks, teardrop. I seem bored. You didn't do. Oh, really, Sebre? Yeah. I know what you mean. It's hard to deal with it.
See, the problem with Chantal and Salah is it was never a relationship. It was a situationship. And the situation was she wanted the experience of being married. So she found someone that would cosplay being her husband. And if he did that, if he was nice to her, she would pay him and pay his way. So it's a situationship. Always has been. But Chantal, in her stupid way of thinking, thought the situationship would turn into a real relationship. She tried that with Nader, didn't work. But for some reason, she thought it would work with Salah. Hasn't worked yet. One day she might learn a lesson that money doesn't buy happiness and it doesn't buy real love. Real love is free. Fake love is expensive.
Oh, really, Naomi? I'm Gemini. I just want to deal with some health things too. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, why am I so effing fucking stupid? Like, I don't care about myself or something. Like, I know my blood pressure's high right now. I have a headache and I'm smoking. Like, I don't even care. I have so many problems that, like, traditionally, I always compare myself to, like, another, like, traditional Muslim woman he would marry besides me. Like, I have so many problems that I've brought here, you know.
So fix them.
Anyway, my breathing, yeah. Don't put yourself down. Miss 8, it's like normally I don't mind. Like normally I'm okay with these things, but being married makes my insecurities come out. I feel like I have duties as a wife that I just don't I can't do all the time. Or do I even want to sometimes, you know? Yeah, he's accepted the entire package. Yeah, but like a part of me doesn't believe that. You know what I mean, Golden Girl? Like, part of me feels like he doesn't really know because we got married so fast.
Yeah, because he wanted to lock you down so you would spend the money on him and nobody else. You know, he saw a golden fish. He hooked you up. That's right. He did. He did. And you were so eager to be in a relationship, you just common sense just flew right out the window with wings and never came back. You know, the funny part is you did a live before Salah, or right about the time you started talking to him, and you said like these men, they're these romance scammers, and why would they want me, blah blah blah. Like, you were thinking a little bit sensibly then, and then when you saw Salah, all of that just went out the window. You know, you ask yourself the question, why would a guy who's a bit younger be so eager to marry you with not even meeting you? I mean, duh.
I hate responsibility. You hate responsibility, babe.
So I think that part of the appeal of Salah is she thought, oh, there'll be a man in my life that will act, and this is going to sound kind of gross, but I'm not meaning it that way. Just follow me. She wanted, she's got daddy issues. She really does. She's got abandonment issues and she's got daddy issues. So she wanted a guy in her life to daddy her and take over all the responsibilities and be the one to pay the bills and pay the rent and go do things. She wanted to let go of all responsibility so she wouldn't have to do anything. But she's finding out the hard way that by giving up all the responsibility, you also give up your freedom. So she's missing her freedom. Well, there's a big fix for that. Go home to Canada and be an adult.
I just like to be free to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Well, then go home, stupid. Don't talk about it, be about it. Like, it's a question of how much pain are you in, Chantal? How much suffering are you in? How uncomfortable are you? Humans can adapt. We are adaptable. And anybody's ever experienced pain, we all have our tolerance for pain, don't we? We do. And you can get comfortable in uncomfortable, painful circumstances if it's within your tolerance. But once you get pushed past the tolerance is when you want to change it. When it becomes unbearable and too much, that's when you change it. So whatever pain she's in, whatever suffering she's going through, it must not be enough for her to say, that's it, that's enough, I'm going home, I'm done with this crap, goodbye. So she is deciding by her choice to put up with this whole situation, even though her channel is going down the tubes, her views suck. She won't fix it. And she could fix it. All she has to do is get on a plane, go home to Canada, and be her real self.
Yeah, Blacks. I know. Yeah. Hey, Lolo. I don't know if I was happier. It was like a different life. It's like apples and oranges here in Canada. It's apples and oranges. Just free, like, just to do whatever. Like, just go out and, like, go driving or not have to, like, just, if I just want to, like, go home. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Just peace. Like, just, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I just need a break. Maybe I'm just homesick. I don't know. But I think I'm going to.
I think which there might be a possibility all that she might be setting up going home. She's going to say, oh, I'm just going to take a break and go home to Canada for a while. But it's almost a guarantee that if she does that, her and Salah are done. I don't think she's going to be coming back to Kuwait. She's not going to say right away that her and Salah are done because that would mean more of a victory for the reaction channel saying we told you so. So she's going to, put the narrative on it, the spin on it, that I'm just going to go home for a while and then maybe something will happen and we got into a fight and now we're broke up. Just go home, Chantal. Go.
Go home for a while. I'm thinking of like getting an Airbnb because I like my privacy.
Can you can you afford an Airbnb? Do you have a credit card? Because you need a credit card for an Airbnb. You can't pay cash. I wouldn't listen. I would not recommend an Airbnb for you, Chantal. You are far too messy and destructive. You do realize if you get an Airbnb, any damage you do to that property, you got to pay for. And you might as well get a motel room.
Yeah, if I go back. Thanks, Lexi. You always have to be modest. Yeah. Stopped in London. I could probably find a flight that stops in London, Lindsay. um, I hiccuped in public and everyone looked at me.
When did she ever go out in public where people are looking at her? She's always with Salah. Like, where'd they go that she hiccuped in public and people looked at her? I don't think they were looking at you because you hiccuped.
Thanks, Sarasota. Thank you guys for being here and listening to me. I really appreciate it. The Western world, welcome to go home a month and reflect on what you truly want. Yeah. Yeah. I'd be arrested my first day there.
Everybody in the chat is saying, go back to Canada. You'd be happier in Canada. And trust me, if she had the villa, If the villa were still there, she'd be back there in a hot minute, if she could take Salah with her. But if she goes back to Canada, where's she going to stay? I'm sure the family's not going to take her in. They know her too well. So, like, when she gets back there, where to go from there? Airbnbs can be very expensive. It's going to have to be a motel.
It's it's such a different life, and it's like having grown up. Well, you guys saw how I was. Oh my god. I can't even say oh my god. I said the same with BB. Oh, I think it's a me problem. That's why, because sometimes I feel like I don't even have the relationships take work, right? They take compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even sometimes have the mental energy for it.
Then don't get into one.
I mean, the Middle East is wonderful. It's just a different culture, but you know, um, I don't know. It is hard to jump into a new lifestyle. Yeah, yeah, Plex. I know. Yeah, Naomi. Exactly. That's how I feel sometimes. Like I feel protective with Salah. Like he just handles everything in our lives. Like
So you're treating your husband like a father. You're looking kind of for a father figure. You're not treating him as your husband, you're treating him as a father. That's another screw up of yours. Because he's not your dad. He's not your father. He's not a paternal figure. He's supposed to be your husband. And he has his own life. And there's things that he wants to do. But you're so codependent and you're so clingy and emotional that you won't give him space to breathe.
that's culturally what the men do. They take over everything. But me, I'm like used to being so independent, and I've said that, and he's always like, "Well, there's nothing you can't do here," but that's not true. you know, like it's not his fault culturally. That's how he is. Well, yeah, I guess Walla's the same, Emily. You're right. Technically, not supposed to say it. Yeah, he's kind, wonderful man. Girl dinner. No place like home. Yeah, like I'll miss him. Obviously, I love him. I'm so messed up. Like I just don't even know what I want. I'm too like I just can't be with around people. Yeah, Trixie, that's the thing. Western women are used to a certain lifestyle.
You know, you're not looking for a husband, you're looking for a caretaker. But you don't want to pay a real professional caretaker. You want to be on the cheap and look for a partner to function as a 24/7 caretaker. That way you don't have to pay him as much.
Yeah. Fly to Canada on a broom. I wish it would be free. Do you know how expensive an effing flight every time I go there is? Thanks, Teardrop. Do you get along with Muslim women? I mean, whenever we go camping or like sometimes if Salah goes to Diawaniya, which is like a hangout for men, I go and like I've gone a couple times to hang out with the wives. We communicate through Google Translate, and they're really lovely. They're so nice. But other than that, I haven't really talked to many people there. Thanks for this. Sometimes the grass isn't greener. Yeah. Thanks, Amara. Homesick bees. Yeah, I do miss my family blacks.
So this person, D. Marie, in the chat said, "Go fund me for a plane ticket." No, no, she should not do a GoFundMe for a freaking plane ticket. She's a YouTuber. She's making enough money. If she's got enough money to eat takeout every single day, 3 or 4 times a day, she's got enough money for a plane ticket. And if she cares enough, she'll save enough for a plane ticket and get her butt home. No, GoFundMe's are for people that have emergencies and they need help and they can't get help any other way. So no GoFundMe for Chantal and her plane ticket.
And what if like World War III breaks out and I never get to see them again or something?
Someone who spends $3,000 or $4,000 a month on food does not need a GoFundMe. They need to cut down on their snacks.
Move to a rural city in rural state, USA. Oh yeah, and I can have Slim Jims. I'm just joking. Snow. Yeah, his family too. I do get along with them very well. Yeah. Thanks, Lola.
You know, I don't like this performance art. I hate it. I give it like what, one rotten tomato. 2 thumbs down. Like she's trying so hard to sound so sad. She's got that really low whispery voice. I'm so sad. I'm so emotional. But y'all notice how quickly her eyes dried up? Yeah, they dried up really fast. Now she's just drawing out the live to make more money.
Wallah means like I
Scammer.
swear to God, Robin. I need a snack.
Oh God.
You're ready for snow?
Okay, so a little word of warning. I was watching this earlier, and for those who have issues with food, just be warned. She does have a bee moment on camera during this live. Like she's almost manic, like eating like 4 or 5 different things, one behind the other. I'm just letting you know.
I'm too impulsive for my own good. Yeah, I'm very close. Look up Kuwait and look up Palestine. It's like this much map space. But I couldn't leave. Like, I feel like I have a family here now. Like, I couldn't leave my pets in Salah.
No, you don't have a family. You've got pets that you don't take care of. You got a husband, fake husband that doesn't love you. You don't have a family. It's not a loving family unit. You can go ahead and leave.
Here in a war. Oh my God.
Your pets don't need you. Salah doesn't need you. Just pack your bag and go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just don't know what happiness is, I guess, maybe. Like, I feel happy and peaceful, but like I said, I have those insecurities in a relationship, you know?
You had those insecurities before you were in a relationship. You're insecure and jealous, and yet you won't put in the work to fix those things and fix yourself. Ask yourself, why am I insecure? Why am I jealous? Like, what's triggering all of that? What can I do to fix those things? Maybe I should fix myself to where I feel secure and I feel worthy and I have self worth. And then I wouldn't feel that way. Get rid of some of that baggage.
I don't know. Canada Airbnbs. You think so, Rebecca? I've talked to him about these things many times, yes.
And of course, Salah is not going to encourage her to go back to Canada. I mean, on one side, yes, he wants her to go to Canada so he can have all of his free time back. On the other side, he's going to talk her out of it every single time because she's the one footing all the bills and the rent and paying for the groceries. And he knows that. Like the moment she goes back to Canada, she's taking her money with her and no more free anything. He'll actually have to go out and get a job.
But I like to talk about it on my channel. Like I feel like I've been holding in a big crap and I just like letting it out. Becca, I will. Hi S. But sometimes I don't feel like a good Muslim Rebecca, and for that reason sometimes it makes me I don't know. Like if I go back to Canada, I feel like I would want to like medicate again.
You will. You will. I've said it, Chantal. I think that if you went back to Canada, you would get the party started in the airport. You wouldn't even make it to the motel. I can already picture it. You would get off the plane from Kuwait. You put your feet on Canadian soil, walk into the airport. You'd see the Starbucks. You would immediately run over and get 2 Starbucks drinks, then find a Burger King in the same airport, get 10 Nashies, and eat yourself into a food coma. And then you might make a trip to the dispensary to load up and then go in Motel B's. I think one of the reasons why you don't want to go home is not just because you're leaving behind Salah and Salah can't come with you, but you have no self control. Absolutely none. You have zero self control. And you've been using him as a form of control. But if he's not there and you're left alone, you go wild. So if you go back to Canada, what's going to stop you from going after all of your vices? When you went to Thailand, you pretty much mapped out all of the green shops and you were making trips to every single one of them. It's going to happen again in Canada. You're going to go back to that outhouse. You're going to go see Natter again. It's going to start all over again. Probably worse because you've been cooped up for too long.
And
And you have no coping skills and no coping mechanisms, and none of your problems have been solved.
how can I do that wearing a hijab? You know, I feel horrible.
Yeah, and people are bringing this up in chat, and I was thinking this too. Over in the Middle East, there is a WAR going on, and that's basically right in her backyard. That alone should be enough reason to come home to Canada. Like, I wouldn't want to be in that part of the world with all of that going on. I think it'd be safe for her to get back to Canada while she can before things get really, really bad. And I just I'm sorry, I just saw the screenshot. I just saw the freeze frame. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's great. That was such a happy accident, right? I need that. I need that freeze frame in my life. Yes, I do. That is great. Hey everybody, that's the next thumbnail right there. That face. That's the next one. I love it. That was perfect. But going back to the topic, if something happens to her in Kuwait medically, she doesn't have free health care in Kuwait. She had it in Canada. So, medically speaking, she needs to get her butt back to Canada before something serious happens. And there's a WAR going on in the Middle East. That should be enough reason to buy a ticket and get out of there as soon as she can.
Yeah, Godiva, it's true. Thanks, Golden Girl. Don't let Shaitan get into your head. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Hi, Tristan, Roddy. Hi, everybody. I miss saying hi too. I'm not ignoring you. Medicate with healthy habits. That's boring. I'm kidding. Can we look at flights? You can't, Iona. Even if I could, I wouldn't do it here legally. No way.
Liar.
What the hell? I look like Mother Teresa right now. No offense. I don't think I could get Sam back because I gave him away.
Nugget. She just said, I can't get Sam back because I gave him away. But didn't she tell us that somebody was fostering him, that she gave him to a family friend? So that's confirmation somebody has Sam, not a family friend. And I've been saying that it just doesn't make sense what she was saying. Why would somebody take in a cat and take them to the vet and spend money to have them completely shaved and spend money on their medical care just to give them back to the original owner? Once you give up a pet, once you surrender a pet, that is it. You do not get it back. So, no, she can't get Sam back, and she's certainly not going to get back little BBJ.
And the girl likes him a lot.
I'm glad that both cats are in better homes. Chantal should be absolutely banned from owning anything with a heartbeat. Pets, children. She can't take care of herself. She doesn't need anything else relying on her. She can't even rely on her.
So, got you a ticket? Who got me a ticket? You could visit Sam? Probably. If he was sent to.
Why are people in her chat telling her to do a GoFundMe? Stop that. Stop suggesting for Chantal to do a GoFundMe. She doesn't need a GoFundMe. This is not an emergency. Okay. GoFundMes are for people that have serious issues, emergencies, and they're crowdfunding to get the money for whatever important thing is going on. She's a YouTuber. I'm not in her pocket. I don't know exactly how much she makes, but trust and believe if this woman is eating takeout 3 or 4 times a day, spending over $100 a day on takeout, she doesn't need a freaking GoFundMe. She needs to cut down on the takeout and the snacks, and she would have her plane ticket money.
To fight? I don't think he would be living here.
Stop encouraging her to scam more people.
Freak out. One of the women we went to camp with was showing me pictures of her deceased brother from the war in Syria. I was like, oh my god, so sad. He's sleeping. Thanks, Blax. Thank you guys. This is why I like talking to you guys, because you're always here when I have a dilemma in my life. And I should be talking to. I know I should be talking to him. I do. Yeah, teardrop. No, we didn't break up. We're not getting divorced or anything like this. I think I need to go back home for a while.
How about go back home forever? Because this whole thing in Kuwait is not working. It wasn't working at the very beginning. It's not working now. Why hang on to it? It's stupid. It's beyond stupid. And it's boring. And you rely on YouTube for your income, but your income is going down because people are bored of you. Because they're looking at you, and this is not who you really are. This is you cosplaying being something you are definitely not.
I kind of want to go like next week, maybe. I don't know.
You know, Chantal, listen, you are fighting the inevitable. You are there on a tourist visa. How many times do you think you can border hop and renew your visa before somebody catches on and then you can't do it anymore? How many times? Because you can't do it forever. Eventually, they're going to block you from coming to Kuwait. They're going to put a little stamp on your passport saying, nope, not allowed back. You can't stay out of Canada forever. You are not a resident of Kuwait. It's been over a year. You're not a resident. You are trying to avoid the inevitable. And the inevitable says eventually you have to go home. So the question becomes, are you going to go home now while you still have a little money in your pocket, or when you're flat broke?
What clinic? Oh, the Thailand clinic. They didn't test my blood there. It's not the end. Kuwait is boring. It's not Kuwait that's boring. It's domestic life is a little bit, but everyone has domestic life, right?
You know what, Chantal? If I were in any country and I just sat in a room all day, every day in, day out, night in, night out, doing nothing but eating, smoking cigarettes, I would get bored. I'd be bored out of my skull. I'd want to go out and do something just to break the monotony. You're in Kuwait. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. All you do is sit down and do your mukbangs and eat. You're bored stupid. So go home to Canada where you know where you are. You're back in your stomping grounds. You can be your real self. You can take off the abaya. You can take off the hijab and be your doggone self.
A big break. Yeah, I'll probably get fed up with Canada too in like 2 weeks. Go home before you can't get out of here.
Right?
That's a scary thought.
But it's a real thought. It's a real thought. You got a war going on in your backyard, mama. Ain't nothing to play with. You're a Canadian. You got a Canadian passport. You better use it before things get ugly.
Ghost face. Bees break. We can call them bees breaks. Stay at home wife duties make life harder and boring. It's okay if that's what you want in your life, but I don't mind it sometimes. It's just,
You know, I think the reason why Chantal likes to sit at home and do nothing is because she's gotten so insecure with herself. I've noticed that with her and Amberlyn Reed. If you look at the beginnings of Amberlyn Reed's channel and Chantal's channel, they were both going out and doing more. They were much more active. They wanted to be around people. But the bigger their channels became and the bigger that they became, the more reclusive they both became. Until now, they're both virtually shut ins. So now they switched the narrative to I prefer to be at home. I prefer to stay home and I don't want to be around people. But if their health was better and they both weren't super morbidly obese, they'd want to go out. They want to do things.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing every day. I wake up. What am I gonna cook? Take it out of the freezer. Carrie pie. I know a lot of people think that will happen. I'd rather die. Just so you know, I'm serious about that. The key is waiting.
Yeah, good luck getting into it.
The key is parked. Yeah. Canada, it's like cannabis culture. It's like it um what's this and this? It's like medicine there, you know? Chimkin nugget, what's this? Let's get Salada Canada Ace. Oh, it'll make me happy to see my family. Maybe it's like when I
I doubt that. She doesn't miss her family. When she was in Canada, she didn't see her family that much. I mean, when she was with Natter, she didn't see her family much. So I bet she hasn't talked to her family in the longest.
here after a while I miss it because this is the longest stint I haven't been in Canada. I usually would go every 3 months or something, right? But then when I go to Canada, I miss here. So it's weird. Maybe both places. Yeah.
Santal, you're trying so hard to look sad and it's just not working. I'm not seeing true distress here. I'm seeing duper's delight though. I'm seeing a lot of duper's delight on your face. Just you smirking inside of your head. I've got them fooled. They're so worried about me. I'm going to act so sad. She's not sad. And even if she is sad, she's a grown woman. Let her figure it out. She's almost 40 and she can't figure it out, then she's a lost cause.
Kids would be okay.
Girls got to
The
learn
idea for
sometime.
me was home is where, Salah is, your family is. Like I do love him a lot. A lot, you're right, Teardrop. People want me to go to Canada for the wrong reasons. But I don't know. It's easier to be good here, for sure.
Boom, she said it. It's easier to be good here. So she just pretty much admitted that she's using Salah and the fact that she's in Kuwait as a form of control to keep her away from the temptations. She's using it as a form of a safety bubble. But Chantal, you can't do that forever. You cannot be so codependent that you are leaning heavily upon a person and a country to keep you away from the temptations. You've got to learn to do it yourself. And you know how you do that? By going to therapy, by getting treatment, by going into inpatient, by learning different coping mechanisms and coping skills so you can go out into the world and you be surrounded by the temptation and you can say no. You've never told yourself no, you never wanted to learn the word no. You've always used other people and other things to brace you against those temptations, but it's not working. Trying to hide in another country and with somebody, can't do that anymore.
Thank you, Ez.
Oh, stop it. Stop crying. You're not really crying. Quit it.
I can't have breakdowns like this, even.
Okay, I'm calling BS on this right here. So she acted like she was crying in the beginning of this live. She was completely fine. She was calm, and now she's trying to conjure up some fake tears. Stop it, Chantal. Just cut it out. Quit it. This is so stupid.
I have to be able to have a breakdown if I want to.
You're not breaking down. This is not a breakdown. This is performance art.
Yeah, Blacks, I think so.
Are you paying attention, Chantal? You had the most amount of people in this chat than you've had in a while. And why do you have so many people? Because a lot of people are sick to death of this whole fake, phony cosplaying a Muslim woman Kuwait art. We're sick of it. We're done. We're through. It's boring. The fact that you're online and you're having a phony breakdown and you're saying, I might go back to Canada, it's making everybody happy. People are saying, is it over? Are we done here? Are we almost done? I hope so. You know, this is what you could expect if you went home to Canada and bees from Canada without Salah. Just get rid of the robot. I'm sure he's expensive. It's not worth it.
You are a hot Cheeto and Kuwait is a box of saltines.
Everybody's saying the same thing. We miss the old Chantal. You were happier in Canada. We miss the Canadian Chantal. Everybody's been saying that. They're like, go home. Get your butt home. Don't stay in Kuwait. It's boring. You rely on YouTube. You rely on the YouTube paycheck. Well, fix that. Go to Canada and your paycheck will go up. Bonus, you're going to get rid of 165 pounds of useless nothing that laughs all funny. You can do this on your own. You don't need him.
Thanks, guys.
Oh God. Okay. You know what? We're gonna skip ahead. She's going to go get her snacks. Okay, so what do we got? I'm tired of her moaning and groaning. Let's move it along. We left the couch. What do we got? Come on, bring it back. And for warning, she's doing it. She's having a bee moment. Oh, look at that whole plate. So we've got, what is it? What is all this? Like 4 or 5 different things. And she's so excited. She's so excited to bring a whole big old plate of food to eat.
Della sandwich, olives.
And I don't care what you say, Chantal, that is a bee moment. You got a variety of different things. And I'm not going to show the whole live, but I'll just let you guys know right now. She goes from one thing to the next thing and the next thing and next thing and back again. Sorry, that's a bee moment. It's called grazing.
And more juice boxes. Yes, Law has a kid, it's me.
Ooh, I love this comment. Misinformation says, I don't think you're fake on purpose. You're just not being true to yourself. Well, she is fake on purpose, but you're right. She's not being true to herself. I don't think she knows who herself really is because she's been so busy trying to be everything that anybody will accept. She's so desperate for acceptance from a man.
Mortadella sandwich on multigrain with mustard and mayo.
What's funny is that in the beginning part of this live, she was complaining about, I came into this relationship with all kinds of issues. I got health issues, I got emotional issues, and yet she's going to get on her live and eat this way, having a bee moment on camera. So complaining about her health at the same time on the same live, making her health worse.
Avenues. Yes.
I don't want to see it.
Go home. And before we went to bed, I said I'll think about it.
By the way, that yellow oranges thing she's put in her mouth, that's classic Chantal. She melted cheese on a plate. Y'all remember her doing that back in the village? She's doing it again. So we got olives, we got a sandwich, we got melted cheese. I'm telling you, it's a bee moment. YouTube, do your job. Fix this. We don't need to see all this.
Oh. And if I want to, he'll book it for me. He's understanding, actually. Salt and cigarettes. Lava cheese. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I can't sleep. Blacks, I wish I could help you. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, haunted blue butt.
I don't want to watch her eat. I don't want to see this bee moment. I really don't. Stop.
Sorry.
So horrible.
Happy birthday, Kevin. The cactus. We got it in Thailand and I don't know why. This is good.
Oh my God. I wasn't ready. That's a whole thing of melted cheese. She was complaining earlier about having a headache and high blood pressure, and yet we're doing this. That's what we're doing. The melted cheese. Another reason for you to come home, Chantal. Another reason for you to come home. Because you're in Kuwait and you're bored and you can go nowhere and you're not doing anything. So what are you going to do? You're going to sit in that room and eat, smoke cigarettes. And you wonder why your breathing sucks. I don't listen. No, we're not doing that. We're not watching that. Nope. Stop eating.
I don't plan on it, honestly. No offense.
Stop it.
Kuwaiti show area, but a lot of them are not. Just because someone's Arab doesn't mean they're Muslim. Smoke them if you got them. Yep.
I'm thinking about something right now. I'm thinking about how Salah, how Chantal, she's done this before. When she did a live and she mentioned that her and Salah were breaking up, people got excited, and then the next day she took it back. So and she put a mukbang up after this live. So like this is just this is a psych moment.
Caramel popcorn.
It's talking about food. I don't care.
And I did tell Salah that too. This is my last smoke of the night, of my life.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Who's that?
Okay, this live is pretty much done. Sorry if it's a bit long, but we're talking about Chantal. So, look, it's performative. I'm one of those people that have learned with Chantal that I don't believe it till I see it. Like she's all talk until she's not. Until she gets her butt on a plane and she gets back to Canada, I'm not going to believe she's going back until it actually happens and she's back on Canadian soil without Salah and she's at an Airbnb or a Motel 6 and like it's a done deal. I will react off the done deal, not the idea of a done deal because she's a dreamer, our girl. She likes to dream. She likes to dream out loud. She talks about ideas, but 99% of them she doesn't go through with. So we will see what happens. And so that's it for this react. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody have a wonderful day. Take care now. Bye.